I feel like networking is one of those really American things where people just walk around with flips out their business cards like no tomorrow. Does anyone even do that anymore? Hey, I'm Nazerene and this channel is all about creative entrepreneurship, and today we're going to be looking at networking for creatives. So let's get it. So the purpose of networking is to create connections. They're not just events, but it's actually face-to-face marketing. Whenever you meet someone in the industry, that is networking. I think this is very 90s or 2000s way of seeing networking events where everyone smooches around and flips out their business cards like no tomorrow. And I don't know. I've never been to anything like that myself. Actually, only once. And we put our names and business cards into a hat, and then we picked out one and then made a connection with one person. But apart from that, I've never actually experienced that. So let me know, is this still a thing? Do people still do this? Because I definitely haven't experienced it. Anyway, in terms of when I see networking, when you actually meet people in the industry, I think whenever you meet someone, that is networking. And I think that helps change what we expect it to be and what it is like. So here are a few points for you to think about if you're at an event where there's lots of people in your sector or in your industry when you are networking. So the first thing to think about in terms of networking is that you don't need to meet everybody. You'll end up rushing around and not making any meaningful connections, which is literally the opposite of a networking event. So don't shoot yourself in the foot and think that you've got to buzz around and meet everyone. Secondly, plan ahead of time if you can find out who's going to be there. The great thing about press nights in the theatre industry is you can look up the creative team in the programme or on a website and find out who's actually going to be there so that you can try and plan who you're going to speak to. The third thing is to really listen and engage with the person in front of you. It's actually really rude if you're speaking to someone and then you see their eyes wandering and kind of scanning across the room as you're talking to look for someone more important to come along. Remember that people remember how you made them feel, not necessarily what you said. Unless you said something really stupid, then you're on your own. I can't help you. The fourth thing is to not blow your own trumpet. It's not a time for you to brag and flex about all of your credentials. You are making meaningful connections with people, so it's not all about you. My fifth point is to be authentic. Don't try and be a certain way or have a certain type of energy if that's not who you are. Not everyone's gonna like you, and that's okay, but hopefully you build up some meaningful connections with people that are more authentic. I sometimes find in the acting industry that people have these really big, loud personalities, and sometimes I'm just not like that. And so I just have to come and bring my own energy and who I am to whatever space I'm in. So yeah, it can be hard, but just be yourself. Next point, don't focus on what you can get from someone. You can just spot it a mile away. Just don't be a leech. Imagine if you met someone and they were like, "Hi, what can you give me?" You would be like, back up, right? It just is not very nice. So think about how you can connect with people on other ways, and hopefully maybe in the future it might lead to a job opportunity. A tip for people who might feel a bit self-conscious or shy or might not know what to say. If you don't know what to say in a kind of meeting, networking situation, ask the other person a question and get them talking. You don't always have to talk shop or talk about your industry. It doesn't all have to be about that. Sometimes you can connect on other things. Maybe you have a pet. Maybe you connect on your faith. Maybe you have hobbies or other things that you do outside of that thing. You're a human being and there's other sides to you rather than just the one thing that you do at the time as your profession. So think about asking the other person questions, get to know them. If it's something that you don't connect with, that's fine. Just listen to them and engage with it. Just engage with the person in front of you. And lastly, follow up with an email, maybe a week or so later. But remember, the goal isn't to try and get a job. The goal is to make some connections and just remind them that you met. So just drop a line of being like, "Hey, it was lovely to meet you last week," or whenever it was, and maybe just add a link to your website or put a small picture of your headshot or something like that so they can remember who you are. The goal is to connect, not necessarily to get a job. And actually I found that you get jobs by just meaningfully connecting with people rather than trying to suck opportunities from people. So just be yourself, go and connect with people, listen to them, and just let your own personality come through. At the end of the day, working with people, you're spending a lot of time with them, especially in the creative sector. You're going to be problem solving together, you're going to be thinking and throwing out ideas. And so people want to know what are you like as a person rather than what kind of skill do you have in your area. So try and connect with people on that level too. So hopefully you can remember those tips when you're next meeting people, whether that's out and about or just at a industry specific event. See you in the next one. Bye bye.